Hi, Lucy, and welcome.
Hello, Tom. How are you?
Good, yourself?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, you're all the way on the other side of the world here.
Yeah, we're basically from the same area, but we'll probably get that into that a bit later. Because,
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
yeah, because Steve said I absolutely had to. But I
Okay. Yeah.
wanted to,
Absolutely.
but I wanted to talk to you a bit about your album. It's self-titled, and I noticed that it's got like a lot of different elements. Like there's a bit of Queens of Stone Age, PJ Harvey, and all that sort of thing. So you're not your typical sort of post grunge. So how did you guys come up with your sound?
That's a really good question. I guess I don't think it was a conscious effort. I think between the three of us, Dan, the drummer, Steve, guitar player, myself, because we're all writers, and it's just all what we're bringing our influences and how they're kind of transposing out of us and transmitting, and all those are the I guess that whole grunge era and where that came from with like the rock and roll and punk and new wave and funk and all that stuff combined kind of comes out in what we've created. I know we all like a heavier sound. Definitely that comes through. We like groove. At least I, as a bass player,
Mm-hmm.
and part of the rhythm section, groove is really important. So a song's got to be able to move you in that way, like have some sort of groove, whatever that is. Yeah. So I get like it's interesting because when you list the influences, it's like, yeah, we like those bands, we like those artists, and we've been compared to, and I guess that comes through because we like the same, we come from that genre, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really a conscious effort, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's more influential.
Yeah.
But I did notice that your album has a lot for everyone. Like you said, there's the heavier tracks like Soul Killer and Break You and Gator, which I
Mhm.
really like because of the
Cool.
intricacies of it. But then there's Hereafter and Try, which would almost be like ballads. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
Hereafter, especially, is probably my favorite ballad of the three, which I don't reckon Amends would be a ballad because it's more heavier, but it sort of
It gets
combines the
heavier.
two.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So walk me through Hereafter because it sort of sounds like a bit of lounge sort of groove, like you
Yeah.
just walk into like a nightclub and it's got like that lounge uh, bass line and the guitar and everything. So was that something that um, you felt was good for that track?
And
Wow,
that's
that's
a,
really
I'm
bad
glad
English.
you, no, no, no. But yeah, I'm gonna say that you've nailed it. Like that kind of walking into a nightclub, that bluesy kind of jazzy feel with R&B almost in there. Definitely sound wise, musically, I think it came from the guitar sound, and it we kind of built on that sound, that jazzy guitar sound, and the lyrical message of the song is that it's kind of like it's about here and ongoing and kind of like moving away from past, whatever that past is, and
Mhm.
especially if it's something that has possibly occurred that was not positive at the time. A lot of
Mhm.
the time it's like you realize after the fact that it's like, oh well, if that didn't happen, then this door wouldn't have opened, etc., etc. So looking upon life as that journey of here and after, and not like staying into the past, like sticking around in the past where it's not,
Mhm.
you can't really change that. Taking kind of lessons learned. So that's lyrically where it was. And yeah, musically we kind of kept it on that kind of smooth vibe to kind of like chill. I agree with you. I think it's a cool kind of song sonically.
Hmm.
Yeah. So once we capture a certain sound, like if the guitar, like Steve is playing that bluesy jazzy, it's like okay, we're gonna build on that and create and go for it and make it that. That's the theme of the song. So
Hmm.
yeah, you nailed it on that. So I guess it was done. Well, once we heard that, yes, we kind of went for that vibe. Yeah.
So, what is your favorite song of the album?
Holy moly, that's hard to ask an artist that, because there's different songs for different reasons that and different moods. Um, I like Hereafter too, as far as like it gives puts you in this vibe. But I also like Break You is just like it's like this delivery of like yeah I'm gonna break you whatever that is, break a habit, break a pattern, and then I like things like FLA, which is more of a funk kind of like groove tune where it really is a funky tune, about like taking a trip in a car and doing like a road trip down to Florida kind of thing, which is what we
Hmm.
did actually. So yeah,
Oh,
I think it depends on my mood, right? Yeah, that's how I would. What's your favorite?
what a, Gator.
Gator.
It,
Oh, and I totally
mhm,
didn't even think about Gator. I love Gator because it's in. You mentioned the intricacies of it, and I like that it's in a 3/4 pattern too. I just like the that
mhm.
kind of groove. Yeah, awesome. Okay.
Yeah, it was because when I first heard your album, the only track that I got introduced to you to was Underdog. So I
Underdog. Yeah.
explored the album a yeah, so I explored the album a bit, and I really connected with Gator because of the bass line and Steve's guitar playing. Like you don't normally hear a guitar like that, or at least I don't. But my music taste has evolved recently. So I'm noticing a lot more intricacies, and I really enjoyed it. Um,
Awesome. That's really good to hear.
yeah, I probably would have written an article about that as well, but then I would have overloaded my website with owl noise and would have just looked like a fangirl. And and I've been told I don't want to look like a fangirl. Um,
Aw.
so, what is your favorite song to play live if you've managed to play them live? What gets the crowd absolutely going nuts?
Oh, that's cool. Soul Killer moves them. I can it definitely moves them. But also Gator because it starts off with you with that bass groove, like with that dynamic kind of like just a pumping 3/4 bass line, kind of waltzy, and then it just builds with guitar on that, and then it builds with the and then it gets heavy in the choruses. So I'm gonna say that one goes over well. Also a lot of people get into like just the heavy grooves like when we play amends and we get into the later just like instrumental like heavy riff kind of playing
Mm-hmm.
that because the drums are pounding. We have a very loud and power dynamic drummer live especially, so it's like whoa, that definitely comes through live. Yeah, it's a different energy. So yeah, I would say those songs definitely impact. Underdog, of course, because it's got this like
Mm-hmm.
fast pace, like moving. Yeah, yeah, all those.
Okay, so should we get to know then the bass and the mic?
Sure.
Okay, so you're born from Perth, so you emigrated to Canada, did you not?
Correct. My parents are actually from Italy, and my dad migrated to Australia first, to Perth, Western Australia,
Mm-hmm.
and because his brother was there, and I guess at the time everybody was leaving Italy. There wasn't a lot going on in terms of economically, so either they went to America or Australia or UK, and he happened to go there. Hence, my mom followed soon, and I was born there. And of course, I don't remember because I was only 2 when they kind of like left there to join some family and look for, I don't know, other. My mom still says she regrets it. She's like, I was fine there in Perth. I had this house. It was lovely weather, and you were, and now then I came to this cold country, and in the winter, and there's snow, and couldn't even breathe. And here I am. I'm in Canada now, Toronto. Yeah, and so I was 2 when I left. So I, as you hear, don't have your accent. And I get asked that all the time. You don't sound Australian. I definitely have a Toronto accent here, but I haven't been back. My cousins are still there. I have 2 cousins
Mhm.
there, and they keep hounding me to say, yeah. And I hope to come there with the band. We really hope to come to Australia, obviously. But yeah, that's my birth is, yeah, that's what it says. Birth certificate, Perth, Australia. Yeah.
So
Where are
have,
you
have
exactly?
I'm north of the river, so you know that big river in the city. I'm basically north of that in the suburbs. Um, there's
Cool.
the
Okay.
yeah, there's like a whole sort of civil war almost, but a friendly
Oh,
one
really?
where northeast don't like southies and southies don't like northeast and all that sort of thing. And let's not get started about the AFL
Okay.
rivalry.
Well, I'd
um,
like to learn more
but
about that. That's cool.
have you tried any Australian snacks or anything?
What would those
Like,
be?
uh, you got to try Vegemite, I reckon. It's probably our most
No, you know what?
divisive
I've
snack.
only heard of it. I've only heard of it. I have not tried it. Can you describe what Vegemite is?
It's like a yeast. Uh, I think it's a yeast extract. Um, and yeah, you got to only put like a little dab on it, or otherwise it tastes like a yeast infection. It starts to be really
All right.
bad.
No fun with that.
No, we also got things like fairy bread, which is basically bread and sprinkles. We also got some
Sprinkles
of the
of
best
what?
chocolate in the Thousand Island. No, not Thousand Island. That's a salad dressing. Hundreds and
Yes.
thousands. They're basically like coloured sugary sprinkles. Um,
Oh.
kids had them. Kids had them at their birthday parties and all that sort of thing. Um,
Oh. No, I haven't tried
so
that.
So yeah, I reckon you should try Vegemite. It's pretty good in the morning for a breakfast snack. Um, and there's Wheat Bix, of course, which is basically just cereal,
I
as
know
well as
that.
chocolate and all. Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's Milo, of course, which would probably be similar to uh, Yoo-hoo or something. Like it's a powdered chocolate drink.
Gotcha.
So they do subscription boxes for Aussie snacks. So if you guys
Oh,
wanted to
I'd
try
love to
some,
have that. That'd be so cool. Like to give it all
so
a little taste.
yes, so you'll probably have to look that up online. I don't have a link on me because I'm not sponsored by any subscription boxes. Um, but there's a lot of good snacks that I think you would enjoy, and at least with the Vegemite, if the boys get out of line, you can just punish them with it a bit.
All right. Like that. It's the Aussie trick. Okay. The Aussie weapon. Love it.
Like I said, if it's too much, then you feel miserable. Um,
um,
yeah. Um,
you
so
guys are really into
you mentioned
coffee as well there. At least
yes,
my cousins.
but so is Canada. I hear Toronto's coffee
Oh, yeah.
scene is pretty good.
Yeah.
Um,
We have a whole big brand based on the name of a hockey player, because hockey is like a religion here in Canada,
mhm,
um, called Tim Hortons. Tim Horton was a Toronto Maple Leaf, which is the main hockey team of, like, I'm going to say the country, but definitely Toronto. And actually, the song Underdog was my
mhm.
inspiration, were the Toronto Maple Leafs, the hockey team we have here, because of they are The last time they won a cup was 1967, and it's like the biggest hockey market, and they are always underdogs, and so kind of that song was written about them and for them.
Ah, a bit
Yeah,
of
yeah,
a bit of province pride, because I think you guys don't have states,
exactly.
you have provinces.
You got it.
So,
Yeah, very good.
so you're big into your ice hockey then?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was raised with that. Interesting. Now the Euro Cup is on, and I know World Cup is coming to North America when it comes. I'm into soccer, but I think that's my European roots coming through. But being raised here, it's just hockey is like a religion. It's like every kid plays hockey, especially males, and yeah, it's a religion. What is it over there? Is it football? What are you guys
Uh,
into?
AFL, so that's the Australian Football League. So,
Yes.
but basically NFL without the throwing and the helmets, and a, a bit a bit more stars, I reckon, because really the NFL or the CFL, I can't really name too many stars beyond the major ones. Um,
Right.
so yeah, no offense to the Canadian Football League, of course.
Of course.
Um, so you mentioned you might be thinking about a tour to Australia at some point. Do you have any plans for any other tours, like a US or
Yes.
European one?
Absolutely. I'm glad you asked that. Because we came off of a Western US tour in 2023 that then led into an Eastern US and Ontario tour, our province here in the fall.
Mhm.
And currently we did some more recording out of Brooklyn, New York over the past few months. And we are going to be touring, doing some dates in New York, Ontario, and in the fall, I guess October, we're going over to Europe. UK mainly, Germany as well. And
Mhm.
our big plan is Japan and Australia would be
Mhm.
hopefully in 2025. We're looking at that. Yes. Come
That'd
back
be
to my
really
home
good.
country would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, and try a few snacks and everything. But yeah,
Exactly.
I really think Perthians would connect with our noise because your whole vibe and energy really fits with the whole aesthetic, and we could use a bit of grunge or post grunge in our state.
Love it. That sounds cool. Yeah. I remember there was a
Well,
band that out of Australia. Well, there was a couple bands I really liked in the that grunge scene, um, called now I'm remember. I'm trying to remember some names of bands. Okay, wait. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to go there. Steve's looking at me like, "Hi, Steve. Do you remember that there were some names of there were some grungy bands that came out of the of Australia that did pretty well during that time?"
I think the biggest I can think of is probably Grinspoon. Um,
Yes.
although they're post grunge.
Yeah,
Um,
post.
yeah, I probably have to do a bit more research on that, and I can get back to you on that.
But it's cool to know that Perth, you think like that they would be into that. That's really good to know that it captures that vibe.
Well, Perth is like a sort of melting pot for all sorts of music. Like our folk scene and country scene is pretty good as well, and of course the rock scene. Well, thank you for joining me, Lucy. It was really nice uh,
It was
chatting
cool
with you and
talking
getting
to you.
to know a bit more about you as well as the band. And I'm really excited to hear more from our noise because, to quote myself, I reckon it could be the new noise if you're a
Oh, I
Refused
love
fan.
it. Love that. Well said.
Does it feel